Today we're making a chocolate spice cookie. Not only is this cookie chocolatey, moist, and delicious, it's also got a kick. And the kick is a special ingredient that we're adding, which is cayenne pepper. It's a little unusual, but absolutely delicious. So the first thing we're going to do is mix all our dry ingredients into a mixing bowl. We're starting off with 1.5 cups of flour, 1/4 cup of cocoa, Dutch processed, a teaspoon of cinnamon, this is 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper, and if you like it a little spicier, you could add more, a teaspoon of baking soda, and 1/2 teaspoon of kosher salt. And we're going to whisk that together into the mixing bowl. So that it's completely combined. Okay, we can put that aside. Next we want to mix our wet ingredients. In our stand mixer, we are going to start off with 1 stick of unsalted room temperature butter. And to that we're going to add a cup of light brown sugar that has been packed. Anytime you measure brown sugar, you have to make sure it's packed into your measuring cup. And we're going to start the mixer and combine the butter and sugar. Once the sugar and butter have been combined and creamed, we're going to add 1 large egg that has been setting out at room temperature. I like cracking my eggs into a small bowl just in case I get any shells. I avoid from getting shells into the mixing. Put your stand mixer on medium, low, and add your egg. Don't forget to scrape your bowl. And now you could add the dry ingredients. I like adding a spoonful at a time so that you don't have a cloud of flour and dry ingredients everywhere. Really smell the chocolate. And then just to scrape your bowl one more time. And then we want to add 12 ounces of chocolate chips. These chocolate chips that I'm using are dark chocolate. You could use semi-sweet, milk chocolate, whichever you prefer. I'm going to add this 12 ounces. I'm going to add a little at a time. This could also be done by hand. Perfect. Forgot to mention, we also need to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Give it a final stir. Turn off your mixer, and now we're going to, with the spatula, and it's almost like a brownie mix. It smells amazing. I like using an ice cream scoop. This one's it's a smaller size, perfect for cookies. The idea is that you want them all uniform. So what I do, or you could also do this by hand. Actually, I think that's what I'll do. So you're going to roll it, and then before you put it on your sheet, you're going to roll it in sugar. You want to space them about 2 inches apart. Make sure your oven is preheated at 325. Okay, our cookies have been scooped, rolled in sugar, and placed on 2 parchment lined cookie sheets. The oven is preheated at 325. It goes into the oven for about 13 minutes. I like setting my timer at 10 minutes, checking it, turning the trays if I need to in the oven, and maybe bake it for another minute or so. The way that you know these cookies are done is they actually spread out and they start cracking on the top. Okay, it's been about 13 minutes or so. The cookies are out of the oven. I've allowed them to cool for about 10 minutes, and now we're going to transfer them to a wire rack. And just look how beautiful they look. As I said earlier, I don't know if you can get a close-up, if you can see, but they have these beautiful cracks with a little bit of the sugar that we rolled the cookies in. So now I'm going to transfer to a wire rack to let them completely cool. And you'll see when you bite into it or you break it open, it has the interior texture of a brownie, but the outside is very crisp, especially with the added sugar. You're definitely going to want to try this recipe. Look how beautiful they look. Okay, let me bite into one. I'm just going to open it. Yeah, it's very soft in the inside, a little bit of a melted chocolate. It's sweet, but then there's this kick of a little bit of spice. You really need to try it.